Am I ready? Are you ready, Brandy? So I was telling that we have to be ready 24/7. So if we are not ready 24/7, then those obstacles enters into my mind. What are those obstacles? Laziness, craziness, blame, complaint, reaction, fear, anxiety. Now think of these adjectives. It enters into my mind only when I feel I am limited. I am finite. So when I feel I am limited, it means I am conditioned. So when I am conditioned, then what happens? I am limited. So I have to ask you, please give me a bit of happiness. But you don't have it. But I claim you have it, you don't want to give me. So there is a second layer of conflict, then the third layer, and conflict continues. Then we say, oh God, why you created me? God says, I don't ask you. I don't ask anyone. I simply create. Creation is my joy. Can you participate in the joy of creation? So we even complain to God, give me little happiness. You are already in happiness. See that? Look at it. Look at this is what the journey of the Eastern wisdom is. We don't want to realize. So when we don't want to realize, we are always busy, fully busy. Ask yourself why I am busy. How long I have been busy. Every day, every day. Busy for what? What is the ultimate goal of this your busyness? Happiness. You are destroying happiness by being fully busy. Do you see that? Do you see the truth in it? I have less money, I have more money. So today we have been learning how this highest level of a seeker expresses what he attained. So in the second chapter of Ashtavakra Gita, the seeker who has reached to the highest state of meditation is explaining. In the first few sutras, we have understood, he explains that waves and water, I am water, water is existence, and the waves are just the manifestation of water. Then he explained in few verses the relationship between the reality and manifestation. So waves is nothing but the superimposition on the water. Think of it. Waves. Now apply the same logic. This world is a superimposition on my real self. That is why I feel I am limited, conditioned, And that is why there is a problem. Superimposition. The water is superimposed due to the sunlight in the afternoon in Arizona, which creates a mirage. But it is not there. Yesterday I went to Costco and I saw, my honey was saying, look at the mirage. Yes. So I see the mirage. What is that mirage? My problems, my busyness, my suffering, I don't see it. So when I don't see it, don't see means I don't know it. I don't see it. You see that? I don't see it. I don't know it. So when I don't know, it is ignorance. So what is that ignorance? Ignorance is error in perception, error in knowledge. Oh, there is a water in the mirage. There is no water. Can I remove that error? That is all about the Eastern wisdom. Nothing more, nothing less. Now think this, and in this entire world, I am a teacher, you are a student, I am a man, you are a woman, I am stressed, you are not, I am rich, you are richer, I look smart. All these thoughts and ideas are superimposition on the real self. Are you getting it? All these ideas. Did we have these ideas and the thoughts when we were born? No. Now we have certain ideas, thoughts. I am stressed. Remain stressed if you are stressed. This is superimposition. We cannot suffer from stress. This is what this seeker is bringing to us. But I have to recognize it. It is not denial. In our country, we use the word denial. No, it is not a denial. It is a search. It is an understanding. Word appears in me due to blindness. Word appears in me due to blindness. What is that word? I love you, honey, but you don't love me. We have a very common complaint. You see the word outside? You meet your relations and friends. You start listening to the blame and complaint. That's how my profession continues. One person was asking if all the problems will disappear. It will never disappear. I know it. This is the very nature of the world. So my profession will continue. So the word appears in me due to blindness. Blindness of the mind. Actually, it is not. It is something that I have closed my eyes and I say I am blind. Open your eyes means open your mind. Live into that awareness where the reality is. A couple of years back, I was looking for a story parable in our text. So I was surprised. There was a great poet, American poet, lived in around 1850, John Godfrey, a great poet from Vermont. So you see that in 1850s, Not many Americans knew where is India. So there, India was known as Hindustan. There is another word. So he wrote in his poem Indostan. Instead of Hindustan, he wrote Indostan. John Godfrey. He was a writer of humorous verses. So he found this parable as humorous. So he converted that parable into a poem. And that is what this verse explains of today's. I will take verse later on. So listen to his poem. It is basically a parable. It was 6 men of Hindustan, to learning much inclined, who went to see elephant, though all of them were blind, that each by observation might satisfy his mind. 6 people, they went to see elephant, they were blind. Why? To satisfy his mind that we have seen it. The first approached the elephant, and happening to fall against his broad and sturdy sight, he is blind, at once began to bawl, God bless me, but the elephant is like a wall. Blind, he touched, so he said, oh, elephant is like a wall. My master used to narrate that story in a different way, but I found it is good to recite this poem by John Godfrey. The second, blind, feeling of the tusk, cried, ho, what have we here? So very round and smooth and sharp, to me is mighty clear. This wonder of an elephant is very like a stick, very like a spear. So the first blind, wall. Elephant is nothing but the wall. The second blind, nothing like a stick. Our mind is blind. Honey, give me some happiness. Understand, this is what the parable says. The third approached the animal, and happening to take the squirming trunk within his hands, thus boldly up and spake, I see, the elephant is very like a snake. Third line. When I have this much of amount, I will be happy. Narrate this. We spend 1 hour before the mirror. I get ready in 2 minutes. So I ask, honey, you spend your time. So whenever you say you are ready, give me only 2. Anyhow, the fourth reached out his eager hand and felt about the knee. What most of this wondrous beast is like is mighty plain. He said, is clear enough the elephant I know is like a tree. Same elephant, same real self. Same real self. I say I am rich, I am poor, I am stressed, I am in a hurry. That is how Master narrates this. The fifth who chanced to touch the ear said, even the blindest man can tell what this resembles the most. It's a poetry. Deny the fact who can. This marvel of an elephant is like a fan. The sixth no sooner had begun about the beast to grope than seizing on the swinging tall that fell within the scope, I see the elephant is very like a rope. When you touch the tail, it is like a rope. He put the parable in a very beautiful way. So these men of Hindustan, instead of writing Hindustan, he said, disputed loud and long, each in his own opinion, exceeding stiff and strong, though each was partly in the right. Each was partly in the right, and all were in the wrong. What it means? The moment you say, I am stressed, you are wrong. How can you be stressed? We are the children of permanent happiness. I am rich. No, you are the richest. Not with the wealth outside, but the wealth inside. And so these men of Hindustan, I like that poem I have saved somewhere, disputed loud and long, each in his own opinion exceeding stiff and strong, though each was partly in the right, and all were in the wrong. All were in the wrong. So the war continues. The disputants, I ween, rail on in utter ignorance. Beautiful. He got the message. You see that? Rail on in utter ignorance on what each other mean and prate about an elephant not one of them has seen. I have not found my real self, and still I complain. I know myself. Who am I? What am I? That is the journey of Eastern wisdom. Aho aham namo mahyam ekoham देहावनपि कंचन गंता नागंता व्याप्य विश्वम avasthita. Now, after listening to this, I am neither, I identify myself. Identification because of limitation. Limitation because of ignorance. Ignorance is causing the suffering. This is the entire message of Eastern wisdom and yoga, all the masters. So what happens now? The veil of ignorance has gone. The mirage has gone. Now I don't see the waves. So what is his experience? Such a beautiful experience. It is musing, amazing. He says, salutations to me. What is that me? That real self. That real self. I'm saluting to the real self, which is me, who is indestructible, remains even after the destruction of the whole world. From the blade of the grass to the highest galaxy. So now his experience contains an element of pure consciousness, absolute bliss, and existence. So now his experience says, no birth and death now. Birth and death, I'm going beyond the birth and death. Aho aham namo mahyam. I salute myself not to that ego, not to the husband, wife, man, women, wealthy, poor, stress. No, that all has gone. They are just superimposition on my real self. They are nothing but the clouds overcasting the sun. We are the sun. We don't need a candle to see the sun. What is that candle? I am very rich by wealth. Same way, I am stressed. Both have come from the same mind. I always say that, can I start thinking the way our masters are thinking for a couple of weeks, constantly living into that moment? You find that real self. What is the problem? There is no problem. We are in search of peace and happiness. So I start thinking. So what happens? Why when I start thinking? The garbage that is deposited, accumulated since our birth will be gone. Mind will be purified. That is the first lesson. And the second is constant listening and learning also helps us. It gives us a new perspective. Why we study from the text? Because these masters gives us different perspective to understand, to enter into the wisdom. Why enter into the wisdom? That uproots the wrong notions and the ideas who we are. Once that wrong notions are gone, what is left is the real self. From today, the moment your mind moves with an attachment, ask yourself, am I one of the six blind? You express your love to others and happiness to others. No, I'm none of these six blinds. That is the only difference. Only difference is a matter of awareness. Only difference. So oft in this war, the disputants, he has written a specific word, I'm not using it, so opt in theologic war. Because people in that state, in those days, did not know what is yoga on this American soil. So the disputants I ween, rail on in utter ignorance. He used the right word of what each other mean and prate about an elephant not one of them has seen. I claim I have seen it, but not one of them has seen. See that? It is not a practice. That is how we simply say, oh, meditation is not a practice. I read somewhere